Weeksbury girl, 14 years old, admits to slaying 9-year-old brother. Searchers find body of victim on the mountainside. This happened July the 26th, 1935, in Floyd County, Kentucky. Hattie Irene Hayden, confessed slayer, granted parole to Children's Bureau. Father quizzed. For the murder of her 9-year-old brother, whose throat she said she slashed with a butcher knife while berry picking Thursday morning. Last week, a pretty 14-year-old Weeksbury girl spent 2 days in jail here. It's kind of hard to take in, a 14-year-old being in jail with regular prisoners, adult prisoners in 1935. That's kind of hard to swallow. Then was sentenced to reform school Monday and was immediately thereafter paroled by County Judge W.L. Stumbo to the Kentucky Children's Bureau. The girl slayer, Hattie Irene Hayden, confessed Friday, 24 hours after the slaying, that she killed her brother, Thomas James. The body of the slain child was found Friday morning, his head nearly severed. In 1935, the newspapers didn't hold back on any details, not like they do now. It happened on the mountainside on Caleb's Fork, near Weeksbury. After a search extending through Thursday afternoon and night and Friday morning, the girl and her little brother were seen leaving the Hayden home in Weeksbury together. She at first denied knowledge of his whereabouts. Deputy Sheriff Willie Johnson was called, and an investigation was started. Starting from the Hayden home to the spot where the boy was found by his father, F.M. Hayden, and Manuel Hall, a neighbor, Deputy Sheriff Johnson followed the trail of the brother and sister. Along the route, he found where the girl had cut weeds with the knife, the butcher knife. Back in the home, inside a bundle of clean clothes, he found the blood-stained dress of the youthful slayer, little Hattie. Confronted with this incriminating evidence, the girl finally confessed to killing her brother. Through most of Friday, she told conflicting stories of the slaying. At one time, she told Deputy Sheriff Johnson that Thomas James was dragging along behind, and I was trying to get him to come on. But it was so hot, I couldn't hardly stand it. I flew into a mad fit and killed him. Later, she said the killing was an accident, that she intended to strike her brother with the flat blade of the knife. In other words, the flat side instead of the sharp side. An inquest was held by Miss Ben Norris of Martin, the county coroner. It was found that the boy had almost been decapitated. When Chief of Police Murphy and Miss Murphy of Weeksbury returned home from a visit, the girl immediately told them the story, to which she thereafter adhered as true. So in other words, she took to them and She told them the truth when she wouldn't tell anybody else. She said, "I didn't intend to kill my brother. I flew mad and didn't know what I was doing. When I saw the blood, everything turned dark." Chief of Police Murphy said a depression in the soft soil of the mountainside near where the body was found indicated that the girl had fainted following the tragedy. "I was afraid to tell them I killed my brother," the girl told Chief of Police Murphy. "I was afraid they would kill me." Hattie Irene trusted Mr. and Mrs. Murphy, who had frequently befriended her, and at whose home she had stayed for a time while attending school. Interviewed by the Times here Tuesday, the youthful slayer seemed bewildered and unable to definitely explain the tragedy. "When I get mad, I don't know what I'm doing," she said, nervously, dark brown eyes brimming with tears. "My schoolmates will tell you that. I didn't mean to kill him." Miss Julia Ford, Field Secretary of the Kentucky Children's Bureau, was notified of the case and came to Prestonsburg Tuesday morning to assist the child. Originally, the hearing for Hattie Irene had been set for Thursday in juvenile court, but officials decided to hear the case Tuesday. The girl confessed to the slaying, and County Judge W. L. Stumbo sentenced her to the reform school at Greendale until she will have attained the age of 21. Then he paroled her to the Kentucky Children's Bureau. Ms. Ford said the Bureau would take the girl, place her in a private home if possible, and remove her from the environment in which she had lived and committed the crime. Hattie Irene's mother deserted the family, she said, when her brother, who was slain, was only 7 months old. She said she was in the 7th grade last year and was promoted to the 8th grade for this year. Mr. and Mrs. Murphy said she was a good student, and officials here were impressed by her intelligence and personal charm. The girl said she had cared for her brother most of the time since her mother left home, and that she was obligated to do the family washing. She has an older sister who lives in Ohio and one older brother of Weeksbury. Miss Ford explained to officials that there was nothing to be gained by committing the girl to reform school and promised proper care of her and a change in environment. For the first time since she was brought here Saturday by Deputy Sheriff Johnson, Hattie Irene smiled. Tuesday afternoon when she learned that she was spared confinement in the reform school. Of below average size for her age, the girl is a petite, dark-eyed youngster. While here for the hearing of his daughter's case, the father was arrested and lodged in jail when neighbors of the family stated they suspected him of killing the boy. He was given examining trial Tuesday afternoon and was released, however, when there was no evidence produced against him. During Friday, considerable feeling against the father was expressed in Weeksbury, and Deputy Sheriff Johnson afforded him protection against possible violence. Funeral rites for the little victim of this, one of Floyd County's strangest tragedies, were held Saturday morning, and burial was made at Weeksbury. But I can't find little Thomas's grave. Can't find any markers or any history on where he was buried in Weeksbury. So he is more than likely buried in an unmarked grave over there. In the 1930 census of Floyd County, I found the Hayden family listed. Francis M. Hayden is 39 years old in 1930. Henry F., a son, 11 years old. Hattie was 9 years old. A daughter, Pearl, was 8 years old. Tommy was 4 years old. And Henry H., a father, was listed as 68. Francis was living with his father, Henry H., and Henry F. was one of Francis's sons.